Hey, Inspired Church, Metro Manila, Pastor Nolan here. You're tuning into Saturday Night Forum. I was thinking a couple of weeks ago that we need someone on for this SNF to talk about finances, business, the new normal of entrepreneurship, and just some tips on what to do with our money and our businesses. So I get the honor to interview and have a conversation with one of my good friends. He's not only a stocks expert, a financial consultant, a businessman, but he even has some tips that we get to learn about on NBA, keto, everything. It's gonna be a fun conversation. So would you welcome my good friend Marvin Germo? Mr. Marvin
Hello?
Germo.
Hello?
Hey, my brother.
Wearing this cap for you, ah. This is for
Yeah.
you, ah. For
How's
you.
it going?
And
Huh?
we're recording now, and I'm doing this so that hopefully your wife sees this and allows you to play StarCraft with us. So,
Come
uh,
on, come on.
um, everything has a trade. Everything in Tagalog may kapalit lahat ng mga bagay. So,
Let's go.
I'm appealing to your wife. If she can, from the graciousness of her heart, allow Pastor Nolan to play StarCraft 2 with us on a nightly basis.
Perfect. Okay, we're done with the conversation. Thank you for that. Bro, how are you?
Good, good. Yeah, good. All is good.
Yeah. Were
Mm.
you just were you just playing a game?
No. I bought some medicines. Went to Mercury and then bought some
Uh,
also.
how's life during this quarantine, bro?
Uh, it's it's normally. If I if I don't travel, I
Oh,
stay at home lang eh. If there's no meetings, I stay at home. So to me, this is uh, I'm okay. There's not a big disruption on my day
yeah.
because as long as I have internet, I'm okay. I can do everything that I need to do as long as there's internet. So you can watch whatever you want. You can study whatever you want. You can
Right.
trade stocks still. You can play StarCraft still. So
Yeah.
there's so many things you can do as long as there's internet. To make it easier, as long as there's fast internet. So
There you go. Bro, my Wi-Fi before they fixed it this morning, I was only getting um 10 to 15 download and then 1 MB download.
that's hard. That's
I
very
know.
that's hard.
It was crazy. So at least they were able to fix it now.
Hmm.
So hopefully this doesn't crash.
Will this be raw or will this be edited? Will this be edited?
I'll just be raw. Okay lang?
Okay. So okay, got it. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you usually do day to day now?
Uh, same things eh. Same things. The ones that have changed lang is we normally eat out. We
Yeah.
eat out every day because we don't have time to cook. But now we're forced to cook. Uh, yeah. So yeah, and my wife has been experimenting on a lot of types of food. She's been baking also. So those I think that's the biggest adjustment. And then you can't go out there. So
I know.
I'm okay staying here, but it's also nice to when you want to watch a movie or you want to get coffee, you can go wherever you want to do it. I think that's one of the biggest adjustments. But everything else, yun, walang NBA.
I know, bro. What do you think's gonna happen with NBA?
You want my real answer?
Yes.
I'm okay that it doesn't continue this year, so that next year the Warriors are better already. So they're back in.
I'm gonna put my Laker hat on now.
So I don't know, but of course everyone wants it to be finished. It would be nice if it finishes. But the problem, I think their problem is number one, there's not enough testing kits. People they don't have enough tests going on, and the NBA has been clear that even though they have the money to test people, they want to put the testing kits first to people who really need it first. Then
Right.
quarantine that much people that they can't go out for the remainder of the season. So I think it will be tricky. But there's a lot of money to be lost there. And when you say money,
I
it's not just
know.
to the owners. it's a lot of jobs also that the that people won't have because of it. So it's hard. It's hard to decide also.
Yeah, bro. I saw that they were going to try Disney World, right? To be, I know,
Vegas also, yeah.
and Vegas. Dang, that's crazy. I mean, the Lakers work too hard for it to just disappear, bro. That's my worry. LeBron is not getting younger.
I think that's their problem. The older you are, it's harder to get back in basketball shape versus the ones that are, for example, Giannis. It's easier for him versus either LeBron or I don't know. Harden's still young, siguro, but compared to the ones that are in their mid-30s, it will be harder.
Yeah. Oh, I mean that's the whole Laker team. It's the hard part.
Rondo, it will be hard for Rondo.
I know. So, you're a Warriors fan?
Uh I start I started I think I started Bulls, Jordan. Then
Yeah.
when Jordan retired, forgot what my team was in between. Pero alam ko na when Jason Kidd went to New Jersey, I was Jason Kidd. Then when Shaq left, that's when I liked Kobe already. I didn't like Kobe. I liked him when Shaq left already. So that entire run from 2004 to around the time Kobe retired, Lakers and then Golden State after. So you in the Philippines, kasi you don't follow a particular team, you follow the person. I think that's a difference.
That's true.
So now Warriors, but they're not winning. they're not winning. So, yeah.
I know. Have you been watching Last Dance?
Yeah. It's a good series. It's a good series. I don't know. I people don't like the reaction to Jordan. Some people don't like it, but it's for me because that's how Kobe is. So when you look at Kobe, that's how Jordan is. So parang it looked normal to me already. The same way Kobe was. I think Kobe was also as harsh. He wouldn't even talk to one teammate because that teammate wasn't as good as him. So so whenever people talk that Jordan is very cruel to his teammates, Kobe was like that also.
Yeah, I mean Kobe is just that's why they call him the Black Mamba, right? And so it's just that perseverance, that focus that they had. I mean, I've always been I wasn't always a Jordan fan. I was more of a Magic. I mean, Lakers from the beginning. My dad put me in Lakers, when I was playing as a kid, and so always been Lakers.
But it's been the Jordan versus Magic series 91. I wanted the Lakers to win there. I didn't like Jordan. I kind of like the underdog. With the exception of the Golden State Warriors, I guess, because they weren't underdogs anymore.
Now they are.
Now they are.
Have you been doing? I mean, are you still doing keto?
Yeah. As much as possible, yes. But there are times we cheat. But yeah, we do keto. We before going to this video, we had keto donuts. So it was really.
Oh,
it was really
where'd you get it? Did you make it?
There's a grocery near our place, but I think they just get suppliers also. I think the name is Filipino.
Okay.
It's really good. So I needed it. You don't need it because you work out. Tapos I'm not handsome, so I can't be chubby. So that's why yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, I've been doing keto on and off. I was doing keto for strict keto for 2 years, then fell off because I was losing too much weight, and then trying to go back on, but it's so hard once you're off, then you go back on.
That happened to me. My target. I was losing so much weight that I had to eat non-keto food already so that I wouldn't drop my weight. But the thing about that, I wasn't super strict in my diet. Keto, di ba, bawal siomai because of the wrapper, bawal chicken joy because of the
breading.
But I would eat that. What I removed lang and what I changed was number one, no sugar. I
Yeah.
until now I barely eat anything with sugar. Because before I would drink Coke for lunch and dinner. Then I would drink mocha as my coffee. Then I would eat a pastry for it. So I removed all of that. Then when I started, barely any carbs. Ngayon lang may cut my carbs. I don't know if it's considered carbs, adlay, but I think people eat that for keto.
Mm.
Yeah, so
Yeah. You lost a lot of weight, I remember.
yeah, I have no choice. Wh- if if I would walk and then my phone would drop or a pen would drop, I couldn't pick it up anymore, or it would be
Wow.
very painful to pick it up. So yeah, and it goes back to what I said earlier. Pag hindi ko ako bawal chubby. So I had no choice. I had no choice. Yeah.
Marvin, hey, congrats sa silver button sa YouTube.
Yeah, it's YouTube is nice, super. I think it's one of the best ways for people to influence.
Yeah.
It's the difference between Facebook and YouTube is for Facebook kasi if you don't pop up on people's walls, people don't watch you. Facebook is more whoever interrupts the person and grabs their attention, that's what people will watch. Unlike YouTube, it's intentional. You search for that
Right.
person for you to be able to watch it. Then YouTube already has an algorithm. When I search Nolan, Pastor Nolan, suddenly all of the videos that will pop up already are videos about you. So that's what makes YouTube so I guess so interesting. And then the difference also between Facebook and YouTube is if your video is in YouTube, it's searchable in Google. Unlike
Oh,
you go
okay.
to Facebook, you want to search whatever. You go to Google, search something. Whatever content you have in Facebook, it doesn't get searched. And the same is for Instagram. But for YouTube and Google, they work hand in hand. So I think it's one of the reason why I do it. It's very hard. No, YouTube is
Yeah.
very 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 hard. That's why if you notice it now, there's a lot of people doing videos now because since the lockdown. But majority of the videos that are being produced are in Facebook because if you do it in YouTube, it's harder to get the views. So
Yeah.
unlike Facebook, it somehow no, either you put ads or people share it a lot. It's easier for the views to come in. But in YouTube, if you already how do I explain this? Parang house and lot. Pag
Mm.
nabakuran mo na yung house and lot, it will be harder for people who are newer to start to come in, I guess. That's
Right.
why the
Yeah.
ones that
Yeah.
are very, very long, yung mga very, very long YouTubers, ano na yan, as long as they make content relevant to their market, they're they're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be those forever. Yeah.
How
So
long have you been doing the YouTube?
2018,
Wow.
2018, 2 years, yeah, 2 years, and I don't know. It's just funny. I'm doing it because it's fun, and I'm doing it also because I know that's where the attention is. If you want to influence people, you go to where the attention is. You go to where people are, and
Right.
ayun din eh. When you watch anything people don't watch TV anymore. As there's so much talk about the TV stations now. I think my opinion, uh, if the TV stations are gone, they lose revenue kasi and the biggest ads pa rin, which is true, are in TV pa rin. But
Mhm.
now kasi people watch from their phones eh. People want to watch on demand eh. When I watch TV Patrol, I always would watch it still streaming. I would
Right.
stream it because I could watch it wherever I want and whenever I want it. So whenever you watch stuff in social media, it's most even before this pandemic now, it's mostly
Mhm.
politics, uh it's mostly something that wouldn't help people. And I keep telling people, no matter who the government is, if you're lazy, you're not working, you don't take advantage of the opportunities around. Sayang, and that's why
Yeah.
I've been putting out a lot of those videos because I want to tell people that there's a lot of opportunity even in this lockdown. Sobrang
Yeah.
dami, sobrang dami.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, one of the things that I've noticed is that those who weren't ready tech wise, it's hard right now. It's hard. It's a hard season if you're running, pencil paper style, right? Yeah.
And a lot of people were forced to uh, go online. A lot of
Yeah.
people were forced to just the fact that a lot of businesses are working from home. already now forced people to tech up already. The fact that we're doing this conversation in Zoom uh, is a testament that everything right now is off the internet also.
Yeah.
So, but the technique, if I could give people some techniques on business now,
Yeah, please.
I tend to do what people are not doing. So if people are going here, I will do this. That's why I've been doing a lot of videos. But I think during this entire lockdown, I've only done 2 live videos because everyone has been doing live. So the technique is you do something that's opposite because if you go where everyone else is going, kumbaga, if there's 1,000 people there, you will all be there's competition.
Right.
But if you do something that's different, it might be harder. It might be something that people are not doing and you might have to spend more time doing it. Pero solo mo. So parang uh, it's nice to it's nice to go into a place where there's a market of 100 pero solo mo yung 100 versus going into something na there's a market of 1,000 pero 900 kayo. So
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. I mean, Marvin, when did you become Marvin Stock Smarts? Like, how did that happen?
Did it happen na ba? I don't did it happen? I don't know because the name of the books are Stock Smarts, so people I guess called me that. Then we also the name of the company is also Stock Smarts. And then when we started also, when people started to invite me, or we did like a curriculum about the stock market. It was also called Stock
Okay.
Smart. So that was 2011. Then the books came out 2013. So I guess around that time. Pero I never called myself Marvin Stock Smarts. But that's where everything revolves around it.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just one name. So it's easier. Also, we IPO'd the name already. So
Good.
everything is connected to that. So yeah, I guess 9 years, 8 years
Wow.
ago. Yeah.
Love it. Were you always a finance guy, entrepreneur spirit growing up?
Not growing up. Not growing up. Not growing up. When I remember since we were talking about basketball, no, I remembered before Jordan pala. That's before Jordan. I wanted to become a basketball player.
Yeah. Okay.
I wanted to. Pero idol ko si Anthony Hardaway. And if you would ask me, one of my biggest mistakes in investing is I put everything in Anthony Hardaway basketball cards. Then if I just bought Kobe sana, it would have been better. No way. I did think about business or entrepreneurship younger. Siguro when I started working na, the first month of working, that's when it started. So my early 20s. I was already investing and doing business when I was starting out, early 20s. But before that, wala masyado. Pero I would remember that there will be siguro some snippets of it. When I was younger, I would wash the car to get paid. I would clean shoes to get paid. I would, when I was in college, may ano yan, yung time natin, Xerox ka. So it's easier. What the teacher would do was one piece of paper or whatever handouts, papa Xerox, and then you chip in. So but so that it's easier also for the class, alangan isa-isa kayo magpa-Xerox. He would give it to one person, and then that person would Xerox it. So there's, I think it was around 50 centavos or 1 peso per page. So what I did was, since I knew I was printing for 50 people, I would find a wholesale or a mass printer. Then I was able to get it at a discount. Then I was able to earn also. So things like that. There were some items where I would try to earn. My parents were distributing sanitary napkins when they were more than a decade ago. And I would sell sanitary napkins to my classmates in school. So I would ask them, panahon na ba? So but that lang. But after that, it wasn't really as much. No, it started early 20s talaga.
Wow, that's good. I mean,
and I'm 24, so it's mga 2 years ago. But all of this is 2 years pa lang.
Grabe ka. So cool, so cool. What's like? I mean, you've been interviewing a lot of people, and I've been watching your YouTube and thousands of viewers and all different types of people. Even I like the La Union coffee interview. That was cool. That was good. And I asked people because what we're going to be showing this. It's called Saturday Night Forum, and it's just a time for having a conversation with different types of guests and having Q&A. And so some people ask some questions. And is it okay if I go through some questions with you?
Sige, okay lang. Ano
Okay.
naman, just so everyone knows, pangarap ko lang talaga to be part of Pastor Nolan's video series. That's, if there's a vision board, nakalista na yun doon.
Grabe.
To be somehow, some way in a video with Pastor Nolan. That somehow, some way he would reciprocate it and play StarCraft with me. Somehow, StarCraft 2.
Let's go. Okay, no rush. 15 minutes. Ready? Here's one. What are your expectations with our market right now? People are just saying we're in such a time where everything's shaky. What do you think is going to be? What should someone who's investing? What should their expectations be?
Okay, that's a very good question. But to answer that, since when you go to the market, kasi there's so many, there's a lot of people investing, and when I say there's a lot of people, all of that, they have different strategies, different timelines, different risk tolerances, different amounts of money that are invested. So it's hard to make just one blanket answer, no? But I'll try to give different scenarios. If you're a person who your timeline is very, very long, as in when I say very, very long, you don't need the money for a very long time. Your source of cash is not affected. You're not in debt. You still have savings. It's a good time for you to take advantage of some of the opportunities, because the problem 2 years ago was they would always say, the stock market's too high, the stock market's too expensive, and they don't want to buy. Now naman, because it's so cheap, people don't want to buy because it's relatively cheaper. So if your timeline is long and then your money's not affected, you can start studying more, because there might be some opportunities out there for you to start investing. But if, for example, you're in debt, your source of income is affected, or you don't have enough savings, you don't have enough cash, even if there's an opportunity, do not invest. Do not invest based on the opportunity. Invest, or you need to stay liquid first. So what's very, very important right now is, number one, we don't know how long this will be, how long this will go. So if you don't know how long this will go, the best thing and the most responsible thing that you can do is to store cash, because cash will give you options. Cash would give you the ability that it will allow you to weather whatever, how long this would be. Because at the end of the day, I've been giving this example all the time. If you're a photographer, it's hard to have a freelance job as a photographer right now if there's no events, if there's no weddings, if there's no conferences. Who will you shoot? So thinking that, you need to already project, what if this is a year? How much cash do I have? So first thing people need to look at is liquidity. No matter how much opportunity is there, if you're not liquid, you don't have cash, do not invest. So if you're not in debt, you have savings, you have cash, what you can do also, if you are an investor, is you find the companies that, number one, if you want to already invest, look for the ones that are not as affected. Meaning, based on what's happening on the pandemic, they might not be as hit. I'm talking about the telcos, because everything that we're using right now are connected to data. I'm talking about the utilities, water, electricity, because we will all use water and electricity still. I'm talking about the companies that are connected to the bare essentials, the supermarkets, the pure goods. Because people won't buy a Gucci bag right now, but they will buy kangkong for their sinigang because they need it for food. In the same way, people who have planned to buy a condo this year, but because of the uncertainty, they'll probably not buy condos. They will, even if they have the money, they'll wait until this gets weathered out first, and then they will buy. Because at the end of the day, it's hard to buy a condo if you're not sure what will happen to your business 6 months from now. You're not sure what will happen to your job 6 months from now also. So I think spending will still be there, but it will shift. People would buy the alcohols, the face masks, the vitamins, things that are regarded to as what's important. And I'll give you an example also.
Yeah, please.
Just for for people to have ideas, no? Since people can't go on a vacation, people can't go out. Some of them have money for vacations, but they can't go out and they're stuck at home. So you will see this, especially when the lockdown is lifted. More people will spend stuff for their houses to make them more comfortable. I've seen people already buy expensive ergonomic chairs because they're working from home. So the spending will just shift. They just have to find out where it's shifting, and that's where they could invest. That's one. But if for people naman who want to, by the way, no, I don't know when this video will come out, but by the time we're making this, the market has gone up already a lot since March. It has dropped a lot, but it has also gone up a significant amount. So if you're asking me, is this the cheapest time? There was a cheaper portion more than a month ago already, where if you wanted to get the best discounts, those were the best discounts. But that being said, we're still cheaper than where we were 2-3 years ago. So another technique is, I mentioned that people won't buy houses, people won't buy condos, people won't take out loans. That's for now. But like everything else, this will pass. People are talking about, will it be a U-shaped recovery, a W-shaped recovery, a V-shaped recovery? Regardless of what shape it is, a recovery will happen. That's the most important thing, that a recovery will happen. So if you believe this will pass, because what's happening right now naman is stocks or businesses are down, not because it was bad business practice. It's something that's they can't control. So that being said, when there's a cure or there's a vaccine, those companies that are good will come out full throttle also. They'll get better. So if you're willing to buy them now when there's fear, when they get better 2-3 years later on, when they get better 2-3 years down the line, then suddenly the waiting time that you had, because when people were scary, that's the cheapest time to buy it. When everything gets better, it's not so cheap anymore. So that's what they can look at. That I'm looking at it now, that thinking 5 years down the line, whatever I'm investing in won't be affected anymore, and they'll do better. So those are some ideas that people can look at. But for people who are safe, want to be safe, they just buy, I think government bonds will be safe for them. I think Pag-ibig MP2 will still be safe, but the gains will be smaller because, again, Pag-ibig MP2 makes a lot of money from housing loans, and since there might not be a lot of housing loans, that will also be affected. And siguro lastly, if they want passive income, they just go for preferred stocks or stocks that have dividends, that they know the income of the company will be uninterrupted. So that's why I've been a big fan of telcos, because everything that we're doing right now is this. Everything is this. But here's one thing that people haven't seen, or it's not at least talked about as much, or if it's talked about, not everyone's noticing it yet. Because of the coronavirus, there will be a greater push for money to be transacted digitally, regardless if it's Bitcoin, regardless if it's cryptocurrency. It could be PayPal, it could be GCash, it could be PayMaya, regardless of what it is. That's how the transactions will go already. Because number one, it's efficient. Number two, you don't need a lot of banks to be open to be able to do that. People can transact, so there's social distancing. But from a bank's perspective, I don't need 100 tellers anymore. I just need this much, and it will be, because some companies would want to also save it, and because of that, it will make transactions easier for a lot of people. And in the same way, that this is also a warning, also, that if you think your job may be affected by this, it's a good time already for you to reposition and build your skills. If you think in whatever industry you are in, if you think you will be disrupted in the next 2 years, you better use this lockdown as a time for you to learn, to build your skill and get better. Because automation, fintech, it's not a question of if they will happen. They're gonna happen. And China made a disclosure that they're backing their own cryptocurrency already. It's the first government to actually do it. So I think that's something that's very, very interesting. So ganun. Look at where the money's going. Look at where the attention is going. Look at where everything is flowing from either from a national economy or a global economy, and that's where they can invest. So that being said, also, I won't look at airline companies. I won't look at cruises. I won't look at anything connected to events because I don't think they would earn as much also for a period of time. So there.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've always heard this, right? You know, when you're raising up a family or you got married or all of this, they always talk about make sure you have an emergency savings, right? An emergency fund. And I think a lot of us, you know, who are viewing, maybe they've heard that, but syempre, I know it went somewhere else until now we are actually in an emergency. And a lot of people, entrepreneurs, small businesses, they might have been they might have used that emergency fund for their own business to just start. And so now in this season there are, you know, people living maybe paycheck to paycheck, project to project. And I've heard a few people are just asking, you know, what's some income replacement? But I'm thinking that's just a band-aid, right? If you're just thinking, what can I do right now? What do you think, Marvin?
Uh, I think it's case to case, no, depending on where you are. So if you think that no money's coming in and you don't have any savings and then you need to provide food in the table, do that band-aid,
Yeah,
work
yeah.
on that income replacement. But here's what's so interesting about it. Eh. You won't do that for 24 hours naman eh. After doing that, you have a lot of free time. Eh. Instead of doing TikTok, instead of doing Netflix, uh, why not do some Nolan flicks and learn and build your skill? So it's very very good that you position yourself that money's coming in, but in the same way, while all of that is going on, try to already look at what the trends are and you build skills in alignment to that, either a skill that will be relevant today because of the lockdown or a skill or a business that will be relevant also after the lockdown. But the easiest thing I could tell people is this eh, and the Bible also would say it eh, what did Jesus do? He would say what's in your hand eh?
Yeah.
Because sometimes what's in your hand is already something that you have for you to be able to make money. Meaning,
Yeah.
anong meron sa bahay mo, anong
Tama.
skills mo, anong experience mo, saan ka naging magaling. So I have a friend, he has a business also. Sabi naman niya, he has a different theory behind it. Sabi niya, you start a business based on if there's a market for it. I will start a business because I know I'm good at it. Because if I'm good at it, I can find a market for it. Eh. I will find a way that there will be a market for it because um, everyone, for example, everyone would say that if you franchise a business, it's gonna do well. But what people don't know, even franchises lose money,
Right.
and they lose money not because the franchise was bad, but sometimes because they're not skilled on it, they're not gifted on it. They don't want, for example, why would you go into a cupcake business kung wala ka naman alam sa pastry? Why would you go into siomai because you think, or to make it so simple, since Pinoy, milk tea, everyone
Mhm.
wants to go into business right
Yeah.
now because they think it's the in thing or it's something that will make money. If you don't know anything about retail, you don't know anything about control, you don't know anything na how do you measure stuff, it's not still gonna do well eh. So
Right.
always double down on what you are good at. Always. That's why uh you won't see me talk about StarCraft because I'm not that good in StarCraft. It has to come to a point where you separate it. What's a hobby? A hobby is
Right.
something that you like, but it's not making money. Then something that could be a business. It could be something that you like, but because you know you're so good at it, eventually people will pay you, regardless of what shape or form you do it. You're gonna make money off of that. So there. If wala talaga silang skills at hand or they think na wala, that's when they really have to start retooling. That's where they really have to think of something that they have to do because probably their industry might be hit. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, one of the questions were in line with that. It's they were sharing if I you know before the pandemic, before the crisis, I've had this passion and I wanted to change it from a hobby into a making a living or a career. But now with the season, right? All of this going on, and this is more of like events, or it really deals with events. There's some people who are in the beauty industry, some people who are musicians, some people who are events coordinators. What's some encouragement or some advice for those in that type of field who are starting their business, but now they're just worried? Like they just did, it's a scary season for them.
That's a good question. I think that's one of the most, that's one of anything that will have a lot of physical contact will be one of the most hit after all of this is said and done, especially the ones with anything that has mass congregating of a lot of people. I think they'll be hit the most. So it still depends on what business they are in. No? So if you said they're into, I don't know, wedding coordination, one thing that I'll do is this. There will come a point in time where everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. That will happen. So what you can do right now, as what I've mentioned at the start, what's more important is for you to get cash. That at least something comes in. So for example, events related, I'm a host, I'm a photographer, I'm a videographer, I'm a coordinator, what I'll do is this. If my normal rate is 50,000 pesos, for example, I'll make a cash card or a gift certificate that this entitles you to the same service, but if you get it now, it's only 25,000 pesos and you can claim it anytime in the next 5 years. So that so it may entice people that there will still be people who will get married. There will be people who will still do events. So some people have that in their budget, but they don't want to spend it right now because they can't use it right now. So if they know that they can get something at 50% off or something that's relatively cheaper, they'll probably get it because they will use it later on. So that's I think one, and that applies to a lot of things. If you have a spa, you have a barber shop, you can issue those cash cards already and sell it for a cheaper price. And then number two is there's always a way. They can find a way to pivot whatever they're doing online. It can be done. Kasi let me give you an example. For trainings, for talks, it's still happening right now.
Yeah.
It's just that it's not done in a hotel. It's not done in SMX. It's done in an online classroom, in a virtual classroom. So if you're a host, you'll be hosting those type of events. If you wala nga lang, I guess the ones that will get hit are the ones that will be physically there, like lights and sounds.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I were them, I'll try to find a way on how I can use hardware that will aid those type of events naman online. I don't know what it is yet, or what they can do is, since everything is online, they can do something to beautify the background of the one doing the video. But they know it already. Business is basically this. You have to find a pain point. You have to find where do you think the problem is, and then based on your background, based on your experience, that's where you go. So I'll give you another example. I'm buying probably in the next few days a condenser mic for my laptop because I'm doing more videos now. That's something that I would not consider before. So if you're someone who's in the lights and sound events, alam mo na yung mga specs na yun, ikaw na mag-offer noon, mauna ka na, either parent mo or benta mo, things like that.
Yeah.
There. Some ideas on top of my head.
I have a new business I'm going to start now.
And those are things that are relevant to the times. Those are things that you wouldn't consider 6 months ago. I'll give you another example. This is not connected to, this is what I keep telling people. If you're not lazy, never ka magugutom. Never yan. You won't be super rich, pero never ka magugutom. I'll give you an example. There's a business right now going on in our area, BGC, that via Viber, you can just contact a person, you pay them a service fee, sila yung pipila sa grocery, sila yung pipila sa drugstore. So, who would have thought of that? Why would I pay someone 300 pesos to go to the drugstore for me? But now it makes sense because you're not being exposed anymore, and then you're not lining up also for it. Another aspect is there are a lot of people here in BGC that live in condos. So, for example, you need a coffee filter. Sometimes, if you buy one coffee filter and then you grab it, the grab is more expensive than the coffee filter itself. So there are a lot of businesses now that are starting also a lot via Viber. They would buy like 100 packs para sulit yung grab nila. Then they would offer to everyone in their condo. Kasi they're thinking that if I need it, there's a big chance that there might be someone in this 100 room condo that may need it also. So ganun lang, find the pain point and then try to find how you can offer a product or a service off of that.
So good. Marvin, I got a last question for you. You've got that's Stock Smart series. You have Investing Made Easy, Winning Strategies for Investing, Should You Invest, Stress-Free Investing, Breaking the Resistance, StarCraft Strategies for 2020. I mean, if I'm brand new into stock market, where should I start? Which book do you recommend?
Stock Investing Made Easy. That's the most basic. But if you want, if you have zero knowledge on everything, I think Where Should You Invest is the most. Kumbaga, Stock Investing Made Easy is Star Wars Episode 4. Where Should You Invest is Episode 1. So I didn't write the book I didn't write the book sequentially. But if you want a good foundation, Where Should You Invest is a good one also. And for all information, everything is in Pastor Nolan's page, so you can get everything there. Super smart guy. So.
Well, Marvin, thank you for just spending time, and it's gonna be a good episode. A lot of people are gonna be watching, and so if they want to get more of you, where can they find you?
Oh, I'm in YouTube. Just Marvin Germo. I started because of the lockdown, I had more time. I was able to start another channel. So Marvin Germo and Marvin Germo podcast.
Okay.
So 2 channels. Marvin Germo will just be right now. The direction will be purely stocks. Then Marvin Germo podcast, everything that's not connected to the stock market also. So there, and then I have a hidden channel. It's called StarCraft. I have 2 videos there where I placed all of my StarCraft games. But for future announcements.
Work hard, play hard. Come on now. Well, thank you again, Marvin. And also for my wife who's watching, you heard what Marvin said. I have to play tonight with him.
It's ministry naman eh, because I feel I get edified whenever I have a chance to be part of your life. And this is for me. Everything after this is already downhill. This is I guess one of the highlights of any video that I will make to be with Pastor Nolan. It's such an honor. Such an honor.
Bro. All right, man. Thank you again. Love you, bro. Sign off now. All right, man. Thank you, Marvin.
Thank you. Hope it was something good.
Bro, it was. It's gonna help us a lot.
Thank you.
All right. See you.
Bye-bye.